You and I have got to get to a place where we trust God completely. It is never easy to trust God completely. What might I say for me? But I'm getting to a place in this life that I've learned and I'm learning to trust God. Trust God with it. Because there are some things that would take place in this life. There is nothing that we can do about it but trust God. There are some things that would take place in our lives will leave us totally devastated. And there is nothing that we can do about it in that particular moment. We have to trust God. We're living in this time now where so many people are so concerned about the one who's sitting in the seat. The one who's sitting in the seat has so many people confused and frustrated in their mind because they do not know from one moment to the next what this day is going to hold. Because the one who is sitting in the seat is allowing and enduring so many things that is unimaginable, that our world have never seen before. But before we get so concerned with the one who is sitting in the seat, we need to focus and be thankful for the one who's sitting on the throne. God is still in control. No matter what a man can do, no matter what a man can say, no matter what people are doing, they could be manipulating over here, controlling over here, doing this, doing that. But God is still in control. And we have to trust him. And I'm not saying that it is easy, because it is frustrating to see the things that is taking place in this land in which we live in. Things that a lot of us have never ever seen in our lives. Things that a lot of us will never ever see again. And so we find it hard and difficult to trust God in this season. Because from one day to the next, things just change. It seems like things would never ever go back to the way that it once was. And change is often very, very good. We need to change. We don't need to be stagnated in our lives. We need to change. Changes bring about some beautiful things. But when we think about change, we think about changing for the good, for the betterment of mankind, the betterment of this world. But we're living in a time now where a lot of things are taking place that is shaping the lives of so many people. And people are in an uproar. People are frustrated, confused. But what we have to do, and what I am learning to do, is to trust God with it all. Because no matter what happened in this life, God has to give the nod. And if God do not give the nod, no matter what man do to try to frustrate or try to plot and plan, it will not come to a place that they think or they have fixed in their mind that it should come. We have just got to trust God. And I'm not saying that it is easy, because it can be difficult when it seems like all the world around is just crashing and falling and things are changing in an instant and we don't know what to do. But I ask that you would join me and to just trust God each and every day a little bit more. I'm not saying that it is easy, but we have got to trust him in these times, because God is still in control, and it doesn't matter who is sitting in the seat. But it is so much a blessing that he is the one who is sitting on the throne. Let us not get so concerned and frustrated with the one who is sitting in the seat, but let us focus and be thankful and prayerful to the one who is sitting on the throne. God is still in control. And we need to remember, God has to give the nod, the say-so about the things that is taking place in this earth. There would come a time, and I really believe that there is the time as now, where God has to allow some things to be shaken up in this world in which we live in, because we done got too comfortable in this life. We have gotten too comfortable disrespecting one another. We have gotten too comfortable not liking and loving one another. We have gotten too comfortable in this life for us to be mistreating with one another. When God isn't pleased, man ain't safe. So God, I believe, is allowing a lot of things to take place in this life, because mankind have turned their backs on God. Not all, but a great majority have turned their backs on God. And sometimes God has to allow things to take place for man to get back in their proper place, to get an alignment back up with him. As I often say, I know a lot of people don't believe in God. And that is okay. That is your decision. But I truly believe that if man would just turn back to God, he'll heal this land in which we live in. He would turn it around. And I believe still he's going to turn it around. But he's going to turn it around in his timing. But in the meantime, and in between time, we need to focus on he who sits high and look low. And stop focusing and worrying about the one who sits in the chair. But focus on the one who sits on the throne. This is my moment. This has been a chosen moment. Be blessed. And focus, focus, focus on he who sits high and looks low. And focus on he who sits on the throne. Be blessed.